Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a new video. So today I'm going to be discussing the Casellario Giudiziale, also known as the Italian police background check, which is basically a document that you need if you've lived in Italy and you want to apply for stuff like visas. In my case, I'm trying to get a student visa for Spain, so I had to get this document from Italy. It's quite a long process, and I couldn't really find much information about it, especially in English, or I mean in any language to be honest. But I guess most people that are wanting this document probably are going to be from Italy. So yeah, this is kind of especially my experience coming from New Zealand. And if you need to get this document when you're living overseas and you're not in Italy and you don't necessarily have contacts there that can like help you out per se. All in all, it took me about 2 months from start to finish, from when I first applied to when the document finally arrived to me in New Zealand, which is a very long time, to be fair. But we got there in the end, so I can't really complain. It took about 8 follow-up emails over the course of 2 months. But yeah, like I say, it got there in the end. So yeah, today I thought I'd kind of share my experience and a little bit of a guide in terms of like how I went about the application and the steps that are required. So yeah, first thing you need to do is basically apply online. So when you apply online, you're basically like kind of reserving a spot per se. Like they call it like a prenotazione, which basically means like a booking. So you're making a booking online, and then you get like a booking number, and this reference number is basically what you need to like go with your application. So if you're living in Italy or you have somebody in Italy, then they would go to your local like office, I guess, and then just pick up the certificate for you. But if you're not in Italy and you don't have anyone there, then you need to get it shipped to wherever you're living. So in my case, I live in New Zealand, which definitely doesn't help because obviously it's very far away. So in that case, like it probably did take, longer, and especially I applied during kind of June, like through August time. So that's like their summer holidays. So it's, yeah, I guess understandable, but I would say if you are applying for this, then definitely, I would give at least like a month or two, to be, to be safe. Like expect, I would say, up to 2 months for the certificate to arrive. Wherever you are in the world. Here, just a quick rundown of the dates. So I applied initially on 18th of June. I kept on following up, and then a month later they sent another email saying they weren't sure if they wanted me to go get it, like if I was intending to go and pick it up in person, or if they were going to ship it to me in New Zealand, and I thought it was quite obvious. But anyways, like I had to pay an extra like, I don't know, something like €5 or something to get it shipped here. And then about another month later, so August the 18th is when I finally got it. So literally like 2 months from when I first applied. Anyways, okay, I guess a quick rundown of me. So I lived in Italy about 4 years ago, and at the time I was only 17. It was like a student exchange, but because I turned 18 while I was there, I guess, I wasn't technically an adult, so yeah, it was necessary. But anyways, I speak like a decent amount of Italian. I don't think it's necessary per se, but it definitely makes it a lot easier. If you don't speak Italian, like you can still definitely get around it. Obviously just Google Translate everything, and Google will just be a BFF throughout the way. Like even though I do speak Italian, I still use Google Translate when I was, writing emails and translating whatever I needed to do and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely doable. It just takes a lot of patience, and like it's one of those things where there's a lot of steps, and sometimes the system is just like very annoying. So if you are doing that online prenotazione, like the booking thing online, and you do run into some trouble, I would just say like don't stress out about it. Like, if whatever reason you like halfway through, just take a break, take a breather, and just come back like the next day or even the next week or whatever. Because throughout this whole process I was working full time, so I really didn't have the mental like energy or capacity to go about this after work. So I kind of left it mostly on weekends, which could be another reason why it took me a little bit longer. But yeah, like I say, the one tip of advice I would have to anyone applying for this and anything in general, like in terms of Italy bureaucracy, is just patience. Because yeah, it is really going to test you, but don't worry, because even though they take a long time, like you'll get there, you'll get there in the end. So with this online thing, basically you're gonna have about 6 stages on the website. This is the first thing you need to do is choose your office. So for me, I just chose Rome. Basically I would say if you're not in Italy and you're wanting to get it sent to you, I would choose a Rome office, I guess, Casellario. And then the second thing you need to do is choose the type of certificate. So again, I would double check what you're applying to, the specific visa requirements and what they're asking for. But for me, I just needed a Casellario Giudiziale. I didn't need a like Fedina Penale or something like that, which is another type of certificate. and like I think they have like German, or I'm not sure what other language, but yeah, basically I just got mine in Italian and that was fine. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to get a delegate. So for me, I just got my mum to do it, and you basically need your ID and then their ID. So I just basically had to submit copies of both of our passports, which is fairly simple. Yeah, like I say, the next step is just to confirm everything and then exit, and then you should get an email from them with 2 kind of pieces of paperwork that you need to fill out. Fairly simple, fairly easy, fairly self-explanatory. Like I'm not going to go through all the nitty-gritty because I don't think it's necessary and I can't really be bothered, to be honest. But yeah, it's fairly common sense. Like just read the documents. If you don't know, use Google Translate and I'm sure you'll manage to figure it out. One thing I do want to mention is that you don't actually need a codice fiscale. So in Italy, a codice fiscale is basically their like equivalent of a social security number or like IRD number here in New Zealand. And I don't know why I was stressing out about it because I thought I needed one, but you actually don't. So yeah, basically if you don't have one, when you submit the online booking prenotazione thing, like they kind of generate one for you. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. Basically, once you've submitted the online thing, you get an email and then you have to email back to the Casellario Giudiziale or Casellario Procura Roma. There's an email, I'll submit it here, but you should find it when they email you the documents. You need to email them copies of your passport, the delegate's passport, and then the 2 like forms that you filled out, and also another form with more details. And basically just fill out all the paperwork, and then you also need to pay a fee. In terms of this fee, it does have to be a bank transfer. So the way I did it is I use an online bank called Wise, which was previously known as TransferWise, and I think this is definitely the best way to go about it. Like honestly, I don't know how I would have done it like through if I hadn't had this online bank. Otherwise it would have been just a nightmare to transfer money from New Zealand to an Italian bank account. Like I would have had to get someone in Italy to do it maybe. But yeah, definitely check out Wise or any other online bank where you can transfer, you know, to Italian bank accounts. And yeah, I had to do that basically and just screenshot proof that I did the bank transfer. And then once that was all done, I sent off all my documents. So I probably did that, I don't know, maybe mid-June, early July. And then throughout this whole time, every week I was sending out follow-up emails, which I think is really, really important because you just never know, like, you know, if there's something went wrong along the way. And I think especially like working, the job that I worked now has taught me a lot because a lot of people tend to follow up last minute, and that doesn't really help because if something does go wrong along the way, if you manage to catch it, you know, early, then it still can be resolved. But if you just leave it last minute, then there's not really much other people can do to help you. So like a general tip in life, to be honest, is just to follow up. Like don't be annoying, you know, you don't need to send emails every single day, but you know, like every week or every, you know, maybe 10 days I would send a follow-up email. And the Italian like office is pretty good, like they usually respond to me within a day. So that was quite good. And like I say, I had to pay like an extra amount because the initial amount was just for the casellario, for the document basically. So if you're wanting to pay shipping, you need to pay the extra amount on top of that. So just, I would double check you're paying the right amount. I can't remember how much it was exactly, but it will be on the form, you know, that you get from them. Like it probably will change, you know, next year to a different amount, so I'm not going to say. But yeah, just double check you're paying the right amount exactly in euros as well, because that's obviously the currency that they're accepting. Yeah, basically on the 22nd, I sent my, you know, shipping amount of money. So I guess that's when they sent it off. And then about three weeks later, or 3 to 4 weeks, that's when I actually received the document in the mail, in my mailbox here in New Zealand. So yeah, all in all, it took about 2 months, and it was a very long and hard and low-key stressful process, because, you know, I really need this visa because I needed to be in Spain by October. So yeah, to anyone watching this, I would say just be patient. You will get there in the end, but yeah, definitely do give it a lot of time. It's not something that's gonna get done overnight. Unfortunately, like in New Zealand, I got my police record from the Ministry of Justice within a couple of days. But yeah, if you are going to be doing this process from outside of Italy especially, then it's definitely going to take probably at least a month. So yeah, all you need to do is just be patient, follow up definitely as much as you can within the reason. I mean, if I'm in New Zealand and they managed to send it all the way here, then I'm sure you guys around the world will get it too. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I see you in my next one. Ciao.